Hello, this is our third talk on keeping the holidays holy, and we're just going to cover the Christmas season. I'd like to begin with some of the traditions that sometimes can drive us just a little bit crazy, but if we understand where the traditions come from, I think it helps to put it all into perspective and make sense. Let's start with why we put a Christmas tree in our living room. Well, that tradition goes back to the idea of the Jesse tree. Remember Christ being the root of Jesse. And of course, our German heritage, which was those morality plays, and fir trees were always used. The evergreens symbolized everlasting life. Green is the color of life. Think of spring. We decorate trees to symbolize giving ourselves to Christ. And then we get up to the lights. The lights, Christ, the symbol of the light of the world. All right. So the trees kind of make sense, and for sure our children enjoy seeing those Christmas trees in our homes. Christmas carols is kind of an English tradition. They would serenade at the Christmas tree in the public square. And wreaths. Wreaths, the circle. There's no beginning, there's no end. Eternity. We use red as the color of Christ's blood. And once again, green, that new life that comes from Christ. Christmas cards. Christmas cards are a tradition from English and Spanish nobility. It was a means to reconcile with those who were away. I learned from a lady I was teaching this class to. It was a Latin American custom to keep their Christmas cards out and always pray for the person whose card was on the top of the stack. You'd pray for that person for a day and then put their card on the bottom and then pray for the next person. Keep your Christmas cards holy, not silly. We should be spreading a very positive message of family, love, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Okay, I already mentioned a little bit those lights that we put on the Christmas tree. And the lights that we put sometimes in our windows, at least out here in Massachusetts. This is a lovely Irish custom. And apparently it started when the church was being persecuted in Ireland, and they would place a candle in the window, and that way a priest would know that there were people there and they were hoping to be able to celebrate Mass. That burning desire for Mass and communion that a family should develop with their kids. All right, that's an awful lot of ideas on where these things came from. That brings us back to Christmas Day, which is a holy day of obligation. It's a day where you take your children to Mass. Have a lovely breakfast on Christmas morning, maybe before the packages are broken into, or after. For sure, there's the exchange of gifts, and there's a family dinner. And I always like Christmas dinner because it isn't like Thanksgiving where it's the main focus of the entire day. The family dinner is a wonderful time to be brought together, but there's a lot of other things going on that day, and that makes it fun. Christmas obviously isn't over with Christmas Day. There are the 12 days of Christmas. On December 26th, we celebrate the Feast of St. Stephen. On December 27th, the Feast of St. John, and December 28th, the Holy Innocents. And the Christmas season ends with Epiphany on January 6th. That Epiphany is the appearance of the three kings. And in Central American and South American countries, that's the big celebration. It means, as I said, appearance. You sing We Three Kings, and you can move the wise men up to the nativity scene. Let's go back just a little bit and go to New Year's Day. Once again, New Year's Day is a holy day of obligation. We celebrate the solemnity of the motherhood of Mary. It's the octave of Christmas. It is a lot more than the Rose Bowl parade and football games, but that is part of it. Now, New Year's Eve, my husband and I would always plan to have that be family game night. Who wants to go out on New Year's Eve with a bunch of other people who might have had too much to drink? At any rate, we would stay home with the kids and play board games, and we had a special dinner that they liked that only happens on New Year's Eve. It was a time for us to spend 100% of our attention on the children. Now that they're older, it's nice. We get to go over to my son and his wife's house, and we have a wonderful meal that lasts from 6 o'clock at night until midnight. It's a great day. So, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, Epiphany, and you've survived Christmas. Stay tuned. Next time we're going to be getting into Lent. Bye.